isa-isa. In simple term. Yung zeroth law deals with thermal equilibrium and establishes a concept of temperature. Anyone from you guys na ano nyo na ba yung term, wait lang, parang hindi nagpe-present, no? Parang hindi pa kayo nagmo-move.
Hindi po nag-move yung slide.
Sige. Parang naka-presentation pa rin kayo. Kaya ayoko ng ano eh. Wait lang ha, mag-unshare ako. Yan yung hirap ko sa sa pagka-PPT ang gamit ko. Hindi nagmo-move. So kaya ginagamit ko palagi ay ito. Nagpi-PDF ako, almost all, hindi naman, sa last teaching subject ko, nagpi-PDF ako kasi hindi nga nagmo-move pagka PPT. Yan. Okay na? Nagmo-move naman siya, 'di ba, pagka PDF? Okay. So back tayo sa discussion. So anyone from you guys ang naka-encounter na nitong apat? Do you have any discussion like high school? High school, walang nakakatanda?
First two lang po, yung zeroth and first po.
Zeroth lang. Wait lang. Okay. Nawala yung aking sound sa Okay. So, ang zeroth law is basically, ito lang yung pagiging thermal equilibrium. Meaning, for example, ang temperature ni object A and temperature ni object C is same, kunwari. Then, ang temperature ni object B and temperature ni object C ay parehas din. So, therefore, ang temperature ni object A and temperature ni object B is the same. Okay? Yun lang yung pina-follow ng zeroth law. Thermal equilibrium between three objects or three things, three matters. Yun. So, A is equal to C, B is equal to C, therefore, A is equal to B in terms of temperature. Nagets? Ang zeroth law? Okay. So, next would be first law. So, what is the first law? By definition, provided in the PPT or in the presentation, energy is conserved, thus it is neither created nor destroyed. Expression of the conservation of energy principle. So, ano ba ibig sabihin nito? So, alam naman natin, tanda ko sa high school na tackle din tong discussion ng first law, hindi ba? Hindi ba natakal nung high school tong first law?
Natakal.
Yan. So, ibig sabihin, ang first law kasi, in simple terms, by definition nga, hindi to, it's energy is neither created nor destroyed. Pero, nag-change siya ng form. Okay? So, dito matatakan natin yung total energy. For example, equation ni heat plus work. Kasi yung heat mo, i-convert mo sa work. Diba? Yun yung thermodynamics. So, ang equation nun, yung total heat o yung total energy is equivalent sa heat plus work. Yung heat na na-convert mo sa work and yung heat na na-retain mo. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng first law. Then, ano naman ibig sabihin ng second law? By definition, energy has quality as well as quantity, and actual processes occur in the direction of decreasing quality of energy. So ito, kung medyo kasi magulo yung terminology dito sa presentation, pero ito yung tinatawag natin na entropy. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng entropy? Ito yung randomness. So scattering, distribution ng mga molecules, ng kung ano man 'yon. Then tatandaan nyo, kapag second law, entropy of an isolated system always increases. So, ina-account natin yung surroundings and yung system. Okay? So, delta S is equivalent to entropy of the surroundings plus entropy of the system. Yan. So, yun yung second law. Then, third law is defines the absolute zero of entropy. So, ito naman yung entropy of a system approaches a constant as temperature approaches absolute zero. Yan. Next, yun yung apat. So, pagdadaanan naman natin yan na isa-isa. Yung first law ay matatakal yata natin this midterms. So, balik naman tayo. History of thermodynamics. So, in 1650, Otto von, sorry sa mga pronunciation ko kung hindi po ako, hindi ko na-pronounce ng maayos yung names nila. Otto von Guericke built and designed the world's first vacuum pump in order to disprove Aristotle's long-held supposition that nature abhors a vacuum. So, alam niyo ba ang vacuum? Ano yung sinasawag nating vacuum? Anyone? Do you have any idea kung ano sabi nating vacuum pump? Sige. Isipin niyo na lang, yung vacuum cleaner. Gets niya? Vacuum cleaner sa bahay, yung ginagamit panlinis, pag kami dumi, nagsasak siya ng mga dumi. Yon. Kaso itong vacuum pump, usually in the industry, ginagamit siya pag ma-maintain yung below atmospheric pressure ng mga vessel. Okay? How to maintain that? Gumagamit tayo ng vacuum pump. Hindi naman porke sinabi natin na pump is nagta-transport tayo. Alam niyo ba kung ano yung pump ka pala? Sorry. Alam niyo ba kung ano yung pump? Kasi baka nagsasabi ako ng pump hindi din gets ng iba. Alam niyo ba yung pump? Okay. Yung pump kasi is ginagamit natin for transportation ng liquid. One process to another process. So, itong vacuum pump po is, ang goal niya is hindi mag-transfer. More on siya, provide below atmospheric pressure dun sa system. Yun yung kaibahan niya dun sa normal na pump. So next, 1656, Robert Boyle, upon learning Guericke's design in coordination with Robert Hooke, built an air pump and noticed a correlation between pressure, temperature, and volume. So, ang gamit naman niya dito is air na. So, normally, same din, vacuum pump din, kaso ginagamit niya is air. Next, 1679, Dennis Papin built a bone digester which was until a high pressure was generated. So, experimentation to, na kapag ka nag-sealed ka ng nag-sealed ka ng steam, may tendency siya magkaroon ng high pressure over time. Kasi meron ka external heat na nagpo-provide, na nag-create or nag-heat up. So, ang tendency nung vessel is magkaroon ng high pressure dun sa loob. Okay? Ano nyo ha, mag-raise kayo ng hand if hindi nyo naiintindihan yung mga terminologies. Next, 1697, Thomas Savery built the first engine followed by Thomas Newcomen in 1712. So, I don't know kung ano yung first engine na tinutukoy niya dito. Pero wait lang, i-search natin yan. Kasi baka, madami kasing engine na tinutukoy. Baka kasi ito ay compressor. Ay, nasa na yung discussion ko? First engine. Steam engine. Okay. Ang steam engine na tinatawag dito, turbine. Okay? Normally, pag sinasabi natin steam engine is turbine yan. Kaya meron na kayong sumunod na 1824 Nicholas Leonard Sadicar that believed that engine efficiency was the key that could help France in Napoleonic Wars. So, ang Carnot naman is, madidiscusin natin yung Carnot cycle. Yan. So, in 1824, it was declared or named that the father of thermodynamics is Sadi Carnot, published Reflections of the Motive Power of Fire, a discourse of on heat, power, and engine efficiency. So, ito ay turbine. Turbine yung sinasabi nila ditong engine. So, 1849, the term thermodynamic was coined by James Joule. Kaya meron tayong ang unit ng heat is Joule to designate the science of relation between heat and power. So, tama ba? Or, yeah. So, in 1850s, the first and second laws of thermodynamics emerged simultaneously, primarily out of works of William Rankine. So, ang Rankine is unit of temperature din. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Rudolf Clausius and William Thomson, Lord of Kelvin. So, yung Kelvin is unit din ng temperature. Then 1854, Scottish physicist William Thomson was the first to give a concise definition of the subject, who stated that thermodynamics is the subject of the relation of heat to forces acting between energy agency. So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa history. Mag-move naman tayo sa physical properties of thermodynamics. So, meron tayong tinatawag na macroscopic versus microscopic approach. Pag sinasabi kasi nating macroscopic, in large to. Okay? Large matter. So, the structure of matter is not considered kasi kumbaga sa kabuuan mo siya kinukuha. The few variables are used to describe the state of matter under consideration, and the values of these variables are measurable following the available techniques of experimental physics. While sa microscopic, ito yung mga molecular sizes, so maliliit. So, knowledge of the molecular structure of matter under consideration is essential. A large number of variables are needed for a complete specification of the state of matter. So, detailed mo siyang ina-account. Yun lang yung ibig sabihin nito. So, pag macroscopic, classical. Pagka microscopic, it is statistical. So, examples of thermodynamics, ice melting, air conditioning, and refrigerators. So, normally sa planta, ang example ng mga thermodynamics namin, steam turbine, compressor. Ito kasing air conditioning, ito kasing mga ito, refrigerator, ito is may compressor. So, may cycle siya. Ito may compressor din yan. So, yung gumagamit ng thermodynamics. Yun yung gumagamit ng knowledge of thermodynamics. Kaya siya nakakapag-produce siya ng from hot to cold. Yan. Okay? So, tapos na tayo sa first part. History, the concept, then, tackle naman natin yung mga thermodynamic properties and quantities. So, itong topic na to is more on computation, terminologies na ma-encounter natin na paulit-ulit sa ating discussion. Okay? So, dito pahapyawan lang natin. So, dimensions and units. Mahalaga na alam nyo itong dalawang to. Kasi pag hindi nyo na-determine yung kung anong unit nito, baka magkamali kayo in terms of pagsosolve ng problems. So, ngayon pa lang, itakal na natin kung ano yung mga units kasi minsan mali tayo ng conversion. Yan, isa pa yan, conversion. Mali tayo ng gamit ng equation. Yan. So mag-iingat tayo. So kailangan nating ma-determine kung ano ba yung dimension ng units nung given doon sa equation. Para magamit natin siya ng tama. Para ma-solve natin yung problem. Okay? So a physical entity which can be observed or measured is defined in quantitative by a dimension. Examples of dimension are time, length, area, volume, mass, force, temperature, and energy. The quantitative magnitude of a dimension is expressed by a unit. Okay? Yun yung difference ng dalawa. Quantitative magnitude, sukat of dimension is expressed by a unit. So primary dimensions express a physical entity. Then secondary dimensions involve a combination of primary dimensions. So dalawa ay combination nito. Then equation must be dimensionally consistent. Okay? Hindi tayo pwede nag-hocus-pocus na may lumalabas na unit doon. Nagdadagdag, babawas ang unit. Okay? Yun kasi yung kadalasan nagiging error ng mga students. Minsan may lumalabas na kg. Hindi naman pala kailangan, wala naman palang kg doon. Minsan, minsan kulang ng second. Yon. So, tasauluhin natin ha, yung mga units. Okay? Doon sa mga dimensions natin. So, system of units, we have two. Okay? The International System of Units or what we call metric units, ito yung kadalasan nating nakikita. Centimeter, gram, seconds, or yung CGS system, or kapag ka naman mas common is meter, kilogram, second, or the KGS system. Ito yung madalas natin na-encounter during our high school. Ito. Pero meron pa tayo isang system of unit which is yung tinatawag natin English Engineering System. So, ito yung mga pounds, BTU, yan. Ano ba? Feet, yard, yan. So, yun yung mga counterpart ng length, mass, and time. Pag time naman, normally seconds lang din yan. So, a system of consistent units used in the United States. Okay, nag-gets yung difference ng dalawa? So, mag-iingat kayo kapag itong dalawang ito ay nakikita nyo sa problem. Kasi baka ang hinahanap sa inyo ay metric unit, pero ang given ay English unit. Ha? Convert nyo muna. May mga conversion naman tayo. Kasi doon kadalasan nagkakamali ang mga students. So, base units, we have length, meter, mass, kilogram, time, second, electric current, ampere, thermodynamic temperature, Kelvin, amount of substance, mole, luminous intensity, or candela. Yan yung mga basic units. So, yun yung normally natin nakikita. So, isa-isahin natin. Unit of length. For example, the length equal to 1,650,763.73 wavelengths in vacuum. So, hindi ko ito isa-isahin. Need ko ba isa-isahin yung bawat isa? Unit of mass equal to mass of the international prototype at kilogram. Example lang ito, which is a particular cylinder of platinum iridium alloy. So, unit of time, duration of periods of radiation corresponding to transition between the two hyperfine levels of ground state of cesium, 133 atom. Unit of electric current or ampere. So the constant current that if maintained in two straight parallel conductors of infinite length would produce a force equal to times 10 to negative 7 Newton per meter length. I don't know if makaka-encounter ako ng ampere dito sa discussion natin. Normally, lang to? Mga joules, ganun. Next, the fraction. Unit of thermodynamic temperature or yung Kelvin. Tandaan ha, ang temperature ang thermodynamic temperature unit natin is Kelvin. The fraction, 1/273.16. Pero tanda ko, ginagamit ko dati, 273.15. Of the thermodynamic temperature of a triple point of water. So, another one is unit of amount of substance or mole. So, meron tayong mole na ma-encounter dito. Amount of substance of a system that contains as many elementary entities as there are atoms in 0.012 kilograms of carbon-12. Lastly, unit of luminous intensity or candela. Luminous intensity in the perpendicular direction of surface of 1/600,000 meter square of a black body at a temperature of freezing platinum under a pressure of 101,325 Newton per meter squared. So, yan yung base units. So, primary, ano yung tawag natin kanina? Sorry? Primary dimensions. Okay? Yan yung mga yan. So, eto naman yung mga secondary. Yung mga derived units. Okay? So, gets nyo naman to. Algebraic combination of base units are expressed using multiplication and division. They often carry special names and symbols that may be used to obtain other derived units. So, common example nito, Newton for force, Joule for heat, Watt for power, Volt for voltage, Ohm for resistance, Farad, di ako aware kung ano nga di ako sure sa Farad, Henry, Weber, and Lumen. So, unit of plane, angle or radian. The plane angle between two radii of a circle that cut off are circumstances of an arc equal in length to the radius. Pati naman trigonometry Unit of solid angle is the radian, the solid angle that having its vertex in the center of a sphere cuts off an area of the surface of the sphere equal to that of the square with size of length equal to the radius of the sphere. Yan. Paano ba to? So, determine the following unit conversion to SI units. Wala kasi po ako dito wait, let's see. Gamit tayo ng, meron ba kayong ballpen at papel dyan? If you have, yun, very good. Sige. Para naman may participation tayo. Kindly compute ang number 1. Then, pakichat ako sa chat box. Meron tayong addition sa quiz. Plus 2 sa quiz. Susulat ko na agad kung sino may plus 2 sa quiz. Anong sagot sa number 1? Ay, wait lang. Baka ako magpasagot. Alam niyo ba kung paano mag-convert dito? Baka hindi naman. Kasi kung hindi, ako na lang magsasolve. Baka kasi, i-search na lang sa internet. Wait lang, ha? Kasi wala po. Wait lang. Yun. Okay. So, what? Nyari. Wala, bakit di nyo nakikita yung screen ko? Okay, dito. Wait lang, mag-exit ako sa screen. How to exit? again, oh, ay, wait lang. Wait lang. What to do? What to do? What to do? What to do? Hindi pala siya mag-ano. Di talaga siya makita. Sige na nga. Last na. Naliliyo na kayo sa aking ginagawa. Okay, so 20%. Huwag na nga. Sorry, nahihirapan ako maggawa ng what to do. Okay, sige. Ano ba kasi ito? Wait lang. Alam ko na. Open with Google. Yan. Okay. Nyari. Ay talaga? Sorry guys, I cannot perform that right now. Sige. So, gusto ko sana siyang i-solve ng kita nyo. Isusulat ko kasi ano ko. Ayan. Kung mapapansin nyo, hindi kasi ako nag-prepare ng nag-prepare ng solution ng nakukuha, ng naka-print, naka-type na. Kasi ang bala ko is isusulat ko siya. Kaso, nung iniuwi ko sa bahay, ayaw naman niyang gumana. Kasi sa office, testing ko siya kanina, okay naman. So, yan. Kaso hindi niyo talaga makikita yung ano ko, yung sulat ko. I don't know why. Pero sige. Okay? So, imagine nyo lang, sulat nyo na lang to. Given tayo a density value, di ba ang density naman natin is mass over volume. Okay? So, ang volume is, usually, ito ay naka-cube. Kasi, di ba, ang volume is length times width times height. Yun yung basic. Di ba? So, lahat naman ng unit nun is meter. Okay? So, given na meter tayo, may feet cube. So, ang feet cube is English. Ang pounds per feet cube is English. So, i-convert natin siya to SI. Okay? So, ang LBM po is pound mass. Kasi meron tayong pound force. Wow. Try lang po, ma'am, sa number 1. That's good, girl. Oh, good girl talaga. So, sige. Tama po, 961, 1105 kilograms per meter cube. So, ano bang, paano ba ito ginawa? So, convert muna natin yung either way. I-convert muna natin to kilogram yung pound mass or yung feet cube to meter cube. Okay? So, yun lang yon. Hanapin nyo lang yung conversion niya. So, normally, ang ginamit ko is 1 kilogram is equivalent to 2.2 pounds or 2.2 something, ganyan. Then, ang conversion ko ng 1 feet cube to meter cube is 0.0283. Okay? So, solve nyo to sa bahay para mag-gets nyo kung paano yun nakuha. Ang answer natin is kung whole number is 961 kilogram per meter cube. So, next would be energy value of 1.7 times 10 to the third power or BTU to kg. KJ or kilojoule. So, from English to metric ulit. So, normally, ang conversion natin dito is ang 1 BTU is equivalent to 1.0551 kilojoule. So, kapag meron ba kayong calculator? Do you have calculator in your hands? Okay. So, kung may calculator kayo, i-times nyo yung 1.7, paunahan ha, 1.7 times 10 cube sa 1.0551 kilojoule. Yun yung makukuha natin na value ng kilojoule. Sige nga. Okay, good. Sino ba to? Shanley. Okay. Next. Nagigets ba? Nagigets yung conversion? So, dito sa term mo, kailangan nyo mag-aral ng conversion. Next. Pero itong mga ito, i-discuss naman natin to kung paano nakuha itong mga ito. So, an enthalpy value of 2,475 BTU per pound mass 2 kilojoule per kilogram. So, given ko kanina yung mga values, kung nakikinig, anong value nga natin ng BTU? 2 kilojoule, 1.0551. Then, ang value natin ng kilogram is 2.2. Ano magiging value natin ng enthalpy? Kilojoule, 2. Oops, sino na una? 5757. Good. Si Ralph Raymond. Okay, sinusunod ko yung mga pangalan ha. Okay, so next, pressure value. Madaling-madali ito. Alam na alam niyo yan. Yo, nice. Si George. So, normal conversion, i-convert nyo lang ng atmospheric pressure, makukuha nyo yung kilopascal. Next, what? Oy, ang bilis naman. Siksayat naman. So, viscosity natin, ang 1 centipua, ang CP po ang tawag natin is centipua, to Pascal second is 0.001. So, yun lang po yung conversion. Okay, nag-gets yung conversion? So, from English to metric. So, yun lang. Practice lang tayo ng mga conversion. So, yan. So, dito na tayo. Ito, medyo mahaba-haba ito. Okay? So, magdi-discuss tayo ng mga, tawag dito, mga unit, dimensions. Okay? Either primary and secondary dimension. So, una natin mass. This is a primary dimension. So, mass, how to measure? Measures of amount or size. So, 3 measures of amount or size are in common use. Mass, number of moles, and total volume. So, first, how to measure mass by moles. So, mass may be divided by the molar mass, formerly called molecular weight, to yield a number of moles. So, ito naman alam na alam niyo to, general engineering. Ay, sorry pala. Hindi pala kayo dumaan ng general engineering. General chemistry. Yan. Na-encounter nyo to sa general chemistry, how to convert moles. Ang moles natin is yung N, ang mass natin is yung M, ang molecular weight natin or yung molar mass is yung capital M. Okay? So, tatandaan to ha. Magagamit nyo din to. Saan man kayo magpunta, pag binigyan kayo ng chemical substance, hinahanap ang mole, mass, molecular weight, kapag given ang either kung saan man sa mga ito, makukuha niyo yung kailangan. So, ganyan hanapin ng mass. Next would be total volume. So, paano naman kinukuha ang total volume? Representing the size of a system is defined quantity given as a product of three lengths. It may be divided by the mass or number of moles of the system to yield specific or molar volume. So, meron tayong tinatawag, dalawa to. Specific at saka molar. Kasi yung V, pagka specific volume, ang gamit ay mass. Kapag ka naman molar volume, ang gamit ay moles. Okay? So, VT, V raised to T, it's a total volume over mass. So, given, simplify natin, mass times volume. Kapag ka naman molar volume, moles times volume. Sige. Next, specific or molar density. So, ito, kabaliktaran ng volume. As I think, aware din naman kayo dito. Kapag specific or molar density is defined as a reciprocal of specific or molar volume. Okay, ano nga unit ng ating density? Mass over volume. Yan. Okay? So, next would be force. So, the product of mass and acceleration. So, mass times acceleration. Kailan ginagamit pagka may G? Ito ay kapag due to gravity. So, derived from the Newton's second law of motion, F times 1 over GC MA or F equals 1 over GC MG. Yan. So, ang SI unit ng force is Newton. So, ito is secondary na. The force required to accelerate a mass of 1 kilogram at the rate of, ito yung unit ha, meter per second square. Ito yung, tama ba? Oo. Is equivalent to kilogram times mass all over Newton S squared. Pero dapat Newton na lang to eh. Kilogram times mass over S squared. Meter per second. Ang unit po, i-verify ko ang unit ng acceleration ay meter per second square. Alam ko ang unit ng acceleration. So, ang unit ng mass is kilograms. So, kaya ang kilograms times mass times S squared, kung nakikita nyo, ito yung unit ng Newton. Equivalent to. Tapos may GC ka pa dyan. So, siguro ito yung unit ng gravitational force. Kapag English unit, pound force, yan yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, pinagkaiba ng pound mass sa pound force, LBM pagka pound mass, LBF pag pound force. So, ang ginagamit naman natin, ang SI unit natin ng acceleration due to gravity is 9.81. Pagka naman pag English unit is 32.17.4. So, pound force. So, ito yon. Ay, hindi niyo ako nakikita. Ito, pound mass. Ito yon. So, equivalent siya dito. Bakit parang naulit lang? So, yan. An astronaut weighs 730 Newton in Houston. Sige nga, kung sino makasagot. Texas. Where the local acceleration... Ay, dapat pala din... Na-discuss ba sa inyo itong force? Feeling ko naman discuss sa inyo itong force. Ito lang ay review. where the local acceleration of gravity is is G equivalent to 9.792 meter per second square. What are the astronaut mass and weights on the moon where G is 1.62 with 67? Sige nga. Sino makakasolve? Iko-correct ko naman pagka ano. Way. Kasi review lang, ang alam ko review lang to eh. Alam kong gets nyo yan. Kung hindi naman, okay lang. I can solve. Yun, may nag-solve. 437. Sige nga, sasolve ko nga din. Sige nga. 730 divided 9.79. 792 mas times 1.67. Uy! Bakit hindi ka na nakukuha ko? Divide 9.79. Mali ang calculator. The astronaut mass and weight. Ano sagot niyo? Oh, where are you guys? Sorry. Yan. Ang sagot niya? Yun. Tama si Bleslie. Pero ang mass ng moon, kasi what are the ang mass ng astronaut sa Houston, Texas is, tama ba? An astronaut weighs 713 Newton in Houston, Texas, where the local station. So ang mass ng astronaut, ang weight ng astronaut is around 5507 kilograms. So kapag ka naman ang weight naman ng moon times natin ang 1.67 is 1.24. So, yon. Kapag ka naman, ang ginamit naman natin is weight ng moon, gravitational acceleration due to gravity ng moon, 1.67 times nyo lang yung 74.550, makukuha nyo yung Newton. Okay? Nagets? Pero nagtaka ko, saan nakuha ni Ralph Raymond itong 437? Anyways, sige. Mali po na gamit. Okay, sige. Kasi nagduda din ako eh. So, bakit malayo doon sa sagot ko? Anyways, thank you. So, ito naman is for practice lang. Alam ko namang natakal nyo na to. So, kung gusto nyo ng more problems na ganito, sige, bigyan natin kayo. Pero next time na lang. So, we have only 25 minutes na lang. So, next would be temperature. So, patatlo ito. Temperature, the degree of hotness or coldness of the body or controlled volume. So, the property that indicates the direction of the flow of energy through a thermal conducting rigid wall. So, the measure of the average kinetic energy of the atoms or molecules in the system. So, makikita nyo naman dito yung relationship in terms of Celsius, Rankine, Fahrenheit, Kelvin. Yan. Mga conversion yan. So, normally, ginagamit natin Celsius to Kelvin, 1.7, yung Celsius, plus nyo lang to 73.15 or 16, ma-convert nyo siya sa Kelvin. So, International Temperature Scale of 1990, so, or tinatawag natin na ITS-90, used for calibration of scientific and industrial instrument, based on assigned values of temperature for a number of reproducible phase equilibrium states of pure substances or fixed points and on standard instruments calibrated at these temperatures. So the platinum resistance thermometer is an example of standard instrument which is used for temperature from 13.8 Kelvin to 1,234.93 Kelvin. So, nung ginagamit na nating measuring device, so, normally, explain ko ano pinagkaiba nitong mga ito. Basahin ko muna yung definition. For thermometer, ito daw yung liquid ito daw ang mechanism niya is liquid expands when heated in a uniform tube, partially filled with mercury, alcohol, or some other fluid, where the numerical values are assigned to the various degrees of hotness. Ang thermometer po kasi is ginagamit natin for external. Ano ba yung tinatawag na external? For example, pinaka-simple measuring device kasi natin yung thermometer. Kaya nating hawakan. Kaya nating makita yung values agad. Unlike sa thermocouple, two different metallic wires which are interconnected, wala ka nakikitang nag-expand, hindi mo agad siya nakikita, and expand differently on varying temperature conditions that give a differential potential value that gives the measure of degrees of hotness. So, ang thermocouple po ay makikita nyo siya. Makikita nyo yung measurement niya, pero yung mini-measure niya, hindi nyo nakikita kasi nasa loob. So, kung na-discuss na kung meron na kayo-discuss ng temperature, ang thermocouple po kasi is normally ginagamit sa industry. So, may iba't iba tayong thermocouple. So, meron tayong thermocouple na may connection siya sa mga transmitters. May ganon. Meron naman tayong thermocouple na naka-connect sa temperature gauge. Yan. So, para sa measuring device, pero mas heavy duty ang thermocouple. Yun, mas magandang term. Mas heavy duty po ang thermocouple. Mas wide yung range of temperature measurement niya compared sa thermometer. Kasi pag thermometer, may naka-fix ka lang. Kita mo yung span nung measurement niya. So, ano ba yung mga temperature scales natin? We have 2. 2 lang ba? Alam ko 4 to. But here we have 2. Celsius, scale according to the SI. So, named after Swedish astronomer Anders Celsius. Then, Fahrenheit, scale for English system, named after German instrument maker Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit. So, ito naman yung kadalasan nyo nakikita talaga sa mga temperature measurement. So, ito, thermodynamic temperature scale pala natin is Kelvin. Scale according to the SI unit kapag naman Rankine is English. So, kaya natin define yung dalawa, English tsaka metric. Huwag kayo malilito ha, English metric. Kailangan nyo mapag-distinguish yung dalawa. Okay? Tapos na tayo sa 3. Next naman natin is pressure. So, ito yung paapat. So, ito naman is na-encounter nyo during your high school days, pressure. The normal force exerted by the fluid per unit area. So, ito is P equals F times A. So, in SI unit, you have Pascal, pero marami po tayong unit ng force. Hindi lang Pascal. Okay, meron tayong atmospheric. Meron tayong bar. Meron tayong, ano ba? MMHG. Yan. Ano ba? PSI. Pag PSI, English unit yun eh. PSI. Yan, no? Pala. Torr. Nandito pala sa baba yung sinasabi ko. Yan. So, normally, ang ginagamit ko, ang technique ko dito pag sinasaulo ko yung conversion nila in terms of what atmospheric pressure. Pag sinabi natin Pascal, equivalent to sa 101,325. Pag mmHg, 360. Pag bar, 1 lang din yun, 1.101. Yan. Pag PSI, 14.7. Yan. Yun sinasaulo ko para in-equivalent ko sila sa 1 atmosphere, then bahala si Batman kung paano ko siya i-convert in terms of kung English or Pascal or kung ano man yung gamit. Okay? Kasi for example, given kayo ng MMHG, for info na lang, kasi kadalasan pag MMHG, ang ginagamit, very low pressure. Kapag ka mga matataas ang pressure, Pascal, atmospheric, bar, yan, yun yung mga ginagamit. Pagka mga masyadong mabababang pressure, mga MMHG lang ito. So, the primary standard of pressure measurement is the dead weight gauge in which a known force is balanced by a fluid pressure acting on a known area. So, P equivalent F over A or equivalent to mg all over A. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng M? Ito yung mass, G, local acceleration, A is the cross-sectional area. So, ang binigay lang na example is dead weight gauge. So, since a vertical column, so, gumagamit tayo ng height. Yan. So, hindi naman height ang tawag dito, head. Yan. Normally, ginagamit ito pressure head. Okay? So, kapag ginamit is pressure head, ito ay gumagamit ng height ng column. So, since a vertical column of a given fluid under the influence of gravity exerts a pressure at its base in direct proportion to its height, pressure is also expressed at the equivalent height of the fluid column. So, kanina may mg over A, so dadagdagan natin na siya ng height. So, area times height times density times gravitational force all over area or rho GH. So, ito is pressure ng head. Na-encounter nyo na ba to? Tanda ko to dati, rho GH, pressure. Yan. Very good, guys. That's good. So, tandaan nyo lang ha, pag pressure, head pressure, rho GH. Kapag ka naman, normal na pressure, F over A. Or mg over A. Okay? Isa sa puso lagi natin yung mga formula ng pressure kasi as future process engineers, mag-work kayo under pressure. Okay? Gets? Oo. So, zero pressure characterizes absolute vacuum. Explain ko to. When pressure is measured relative to absolute vacuum, it's called absolute pressure. So, kapag po ang pressure is negative, o yung tinatawag natin na vacuum, negative ha? Negative yung pressure natin. Tinatawag to na absolute pressure. Okay? So, below atmospheric pressure is absolute pressure or absolute vacuum pressure. Okay? When we use measuring devices, it is usually calibrated to read 0 at 1 atmospheric. Ano siya ni Kuya George? F over A po yun if hindi po ako nagkakamali. Ano po yung F over A?
Sa ano po ma'am, pressure po yung first slide po. Naka 4 times po yung isa.
Okay, sige. Gets ka. Yeah. Thank you, Kuya George. So, nasa na ba ako? When we use measuring device, it is usually calibrated to read 0 at 1 atmospheric pressure. Therefore, these devices are actually reading the difference between the absolute pressure and the local atmospheric pressure. A pressure measured by a gauge is called gauge pressure. So, kaya po, normally sa planta, meron tayong tinatawag na bar G. Gauge pressure. In terms of bar. Okay? Yun yung ginagamit nila. Pero pagka tinatawag natin na bara, ito is absolute pressure. Okay? So, meron tayong mga ganong measurement. So, ma-encounter niyo yan kapag ka nasa real industry na kayo. Difference ng absolute pressure sa gauge pressure. Ang gauge pressure, tatandaan, ito is atmospheric pressure. Normally, bar gauge ang unit. Kapag ka naman absolute pressure, bara. Absolute pressure. Yan. Kunti na lang to. So, yan. So, kapag ka, garbage to Gauge pressure, absolute pressure minus atmospheric pressure, ito ay positive lagi. Okay? Positive lagi ito. So, ito ay nasa taas. Ito. Nasa taas. Okay? Pagka naman vacuum, atmospheric minus absolute pressure. Siya ay vacuum. Then, kapag absolute pressure, ito yung sinasabag natin na less than atmospheric pressure. Normally, vacuum din to kasi negative na yung value mo dito. Pero nagiging positive lang ka siya kasi nga, i-convert mo siya sa absolute pressure. So, kaya tayo may tatawag na perfect vacuum. Okay? Ulitin ko Kapag ang pressure gauge, ito ay more than or above atmospheric pressure. So, difference to ng absolute pressure, absolute and atmospheric pressure. So, ito yung atmospheric pressure. Above siya lagi. Pero naman, pagka naman tayo vacuum, slightly below lang siya na atmospheric pressure. So, atmospheric minus absolute pressure. Then, kapag ka naman absolute pressure na, mas vacuum siya. More vacuum. Okay? So, habang pababa, ang value ng pressure ng absolute pressure mo, nagiging perfect vacuum. Ano ba, ma'am, yung sinasabi natin perfect vacuum? Negative na yung value ng pressure mo. Okay? So, yan yung difference ng iba't ibang level ng pressure. Hindi lang basta nagre-read ng pressure. Okay? So, kasi, ma'am, bakit kayo nagkakaroon ng vacuum? Yan, magandang tanong. Ma'am, bakit may kailangan ng vacuum? Bakit hindi na lang lahat is above atmospheric pressure? Bakit may below pa? Naisip niyo ba yun? Ba't kaya kailangan ng perfect vacuum? Ano kayang dahilan? Bakit kailangan mababa ang pressure? Any guess? Sige George, go.
Ano po, try lang po. Since may
Sige.
relation po yung pressure po sa iba pong like temperature, pwede pong ibaba yung i-vacuum po yung pressure para mapababa po yung temperature or yung iba pa po
Okay, so tama si George. Nakuha niyo yung concept. So, minsan gumagamit tayo ng vacuum kasi ang intention natin is mapababa yung temperature kasi 'di ba anong law? Yung nag-obey ng pressure is directly proportional to temperature. At fixed volume to. Fixed volume. Pressure is directly proportional to temperature. Sige, plus 2. Sige, go.
Guess lang po. Sa gas law.
Sige. Anong gas law? Aling gas law?
Hindi po ako sure kung alin din sa tatlo. Pero talaga.
Apat yun. Apat yung ating Apat yun. Sige nga, any guess? Type kung sinong makakahula. Sige, Nathaniel, go. Go dear, go. Kahit type mo na lang.
Yung kay Charles Law po.
No, hindi Charles Law.
Kay Charles Law po.
No, hindi po kay Charles Law. Go dear.
Gay-Lussac law.
Gay-Lussac's law. So, si Gay-Lussac ang nag-propose this pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So, bakit ba natin pinabababa ang pressure at bakit natin yes, Nathaniel, ano po? Go dear. Ano yan? Anything? Nathaniel? Okay. Ano si Nathaniel? Nag-obey po ng law. Hindi. Directly proportional temperature is Stokes law. So, bakit natin ganong scenario? Kasi mga reactions na hindi pwede yung temperature. So, how to extreme temperature, tayo po ay nagpapababa ng pressure. So, correspondingly, bumababa yung pressure, bumababa din yung temperature. So, we avoid high or extreme temperatures. We avoid exothermic reaction ng mga substances natin. Okay? Nagets? Nagets kung bakit may vacuum? Nagets kung bakit meron tayong application ng vacuum system? So, normally, yun yung nagiging gamit. Okay? So, okay. So, next. Meron tayong measuring devices. Dead weight gauge. Piston is carefully fitted to the wait lang. To the cylinder, making the clearance small. Weights are placed on the pan until the pressure of the oil, which tends to make the piston rise, is just balanced by the force of gravity on the piston and all that is supported. So, next with the Borden gauge. Alam ko, Borden gauge yung ginagamit namin. So, element expands, making the arm of the reading device move relatively to the pressure exerted on the tapping. So, wait. Ang Borden gauge po is bilog. I-search ko lang din kung ano nga yung dead weight. Ay, kasi na ba yan? Para maano ko. Kasi alam ko din to eh. Halos para silang dalawa, dead weight gauge saka Borden gauge, para silang bilog. So ito yung parang orasan na may pumapalo. Naka-install sila sa pipeline, then close system. Naka-install sila sa pipeline, then ilaline up mo sila, magkakaroon ka ng pressure. Parang orasan lang. So pagka walang pressure, 0. Pagka may pressure, move yung arms. Yan, dami pala. Barometer, device and measure atmospheric pressure. Alam niyo na naman to kung ano to. Manometer, YouTube. Open end, pressure. The YouTube can be open, then open end pressure is proportional to the difference in the height in the two columns, and the atmospheric closed end sample pressure is directly proportional to the height and the difference of the two columns. So, normally ito, nakikita ko to sa experiment eh. Itong mga barometers, manometers, yan. Nakikita to sa lab. Tama ba ako? Nakakita na kayo ng barometer, manometer. Yan. Very good. That's nice. Para at least may idea na kayo ng mga measuring devices. So, normally hindi pa kayo nakakita ng mga Borden gauge. Okay? So, ano ba? Sige. Meron tayong isa-solve dito, pero I think next discussion na lang natin to. Okay? So, nasa kalahati na naman tayo ng discussion. So, next meeting, i-discuss natin ito. Mga example na dalawa. Then, work and heat, energy. So, kita nyo naman, almost nasa kalahati na tayo ng discussion. Diba? So, hanggang next week pa naman itong discussion. Ito yung lecture 1 na, full discussion na to. So, ako naman, kaya ko naman nga mag fast track ng discussion. Pero, pwede nyo naman ako, ma'am, teka lang. Hinay-hinay, medyo mabilis. Okay? So, after the discussion, i-upload ko naman ito. Okay? So, don't worry, magkakaroon naman kayo ng copy nito. So, do you have any question? Pero ito, hindi ko na pa-assignment. Ito, i-discuss natin sa meeting natin this coming Saturday. Diba? May meeting tayo ng Saturday. Then, if meron kayong clarification during our discussion this night, you can approach me naman during our face-to-face discussion. Para bago ako mag-move sa next discussion is matakil muna natin. Okay? So, any clarification na nahihiya kayo through chat, through Google Meet, pwede nyo akong approach sa face-to-face. Okay? So, sana today may napulot kayo ng knowledge sa termo. Ito naman ay introduction. So, wala pang masyadong kakaririn na problem solving. So, kapag may mga problem solving as much as possible, papadaliin natin para hindi mahirapan ang estudyante. Okay? So, thank you for attending sa aking klase. Thank you sa participation. Don't worry. Yung mga nag-participate, I know you guys. Meron tayong mga advantage. Meron tayong mga plus points sa mga yon sa mga nag-participate. Don't worry. And doon sa mga gusto pang mag-participate, gato lang tayo. Lagi tayo nagkakaroon ng participation para marami tayong pagkunan ng additional points in terms of midterms, finals, quizzes. Ha? Okay, thank you. Again, thank you. Until 9 pa naman yung klase natin, pero hindi ko na siya gagamitin kasi I know saturated na rin kayo and me also saturated na din. So, until 8 lang tayo every Tuesday. So again, thank you for attending. Still have a nice day. Happy dinner and bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
You're welcome.
Thank you
You're
po,
always
ma'am.
welcome.
Thank you po.
Okay po.